Jan, can you come see me?
Rid of you.
There's a thing.
Something you wanted to discuss with me? I wanted to congratulate you. On what? Having a smart me on board. Seriously? Yeah, I flipped through some manuals while you were sitting on your hands. Looks like we had the base operating in minimum maintenance mode. Oh? Yeah. But I played around with functionality options and, hey presto, we got some new handy toys unlocked. Tools in the workshop and such. Wow. Oh, thanks. I can't wait to check them out. No problem. There's also some upgrades available in the building module. Sound like something you like to play around with too? Sweet. We could do with some improvements here. Sure, but don't start fantasizing too much. Remember, everything costs resources. So, wherever we are and however long we're staying, it might just be wise to see if we can set up a mining outpost instead of relying on shallow deposits. Just in case. Sound advice. I'll consider. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lucky old multi-tool. No wonder you took it with you. This little baby never ever let me down. Yep, I thought it might come in handy. Of course, every man of the house should have one. It sure helped me feel like one when the time came. Thanks, man.
So, this is why we stopped. A lava river. Plan B then, I guess. We need to figure out if there's a way around. Wonder how many more surprises this planet has in store. rocks look like they might be passable. If only I had a tool to drill through them. To drill through them.
Is it me, or does it sound a bit artificial? We're running out of repair kit. About time. I'm in some deep shit here.
So you're not at your destination yet?
I'm stuck. We're stuck. There's a freaking lava river blocking our way.
Do you think you can cross it?
I don't know. Still working on it. Anyway, you can help me?
I can try. I have a limited view of the surface of your planet, but there is one thing you could do.
What's that?
You have a lot of very useful tech on board that base. It's designed to overcome practically any obstacle. All you need is a properly trained crew. If you know what I mean.
More altars. Is that all you have for me?
You still don't get it, do you? That's a lot. If it helps, I have some news for you. Good news and, well, just news.
What's the bad news?
You didn't listen. There's no bad news. First of all, I've been informed that a rescue party is being organized.
Organized? You mean they're not on their way yet? What the hell are you waiting for?
Mr. Dosky, please calm down. No matter how long the procession, it will always end up in church.
What?
Just a thing my grandma used to say when I was a kid and tired of doing my homework.
Except this is not about your homework.
Sure. But you gotta understand, your mission got dispatched pretty far away. We still haven't mastered teleport.
How long do you think it'll take them to get organized?
All I can say is, they know it's an emergency.
Wow. That long?
Don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm really trying to help.
I thought you were responsible for the navigation system. Isn't it your job to make sure we're safe wherever it sends us?
Well, that's what I'm doing right now, isn't it? Making sure you're safe. Step by step, we'll get your procession safely to church.
So, what's the other news?
Well, I know you have a lot on your plate right now, but there's a request from my boss directly. Before we get you out of there, we want you to retrieve as much Rapidium as possible.
Oh, come on. Now? When I'm in the middle of this shit?
Yeah, I know. But the middle of this shit is the reason, Mr. Dosky. If it's true that there is a lot of it there, we just can't leave it to waste. With the sun coming and all,
I really don't know what to say to that.
it's sure gonna give your rescue mission wings if that's your kind of incentive.
Of course.
My boss will want to speak to you shortly. And you'll see how important it is. He's not some kind of empty three-piece suit if that's what you're afraid of.
I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it was his idea to, let you in on the branching procedure. By the way, is your altar doing any better?
Yeah. We're getting along pretty well now. Thanks.
That's very good to hear.
Is this about you wanting to talk to him again?
No, none of that. My boss put it out of my mind. That's not to mess things up even more.
So, you admit it's a mess.
What? No, we just... You know what? I'm not commenting on that. Talk to my boss about it.
What's gonna happen to my altars back on Earth?
I don't know. I'm sure my boss will think of something. He always knows what to do.
You either really trust him or you're very good at not saying anything.
Maybe both? I'm not a natural talker.
Ever tried working on it? With a professional?
Not really. But my sister wanted to be a therapist and she practiced on me when I was 5.
Oh? And how did that go?
She turned to breeding hamsters. I hope you're not laughing.
Tell me more about this boss of yours. You mention him a lot.
He's the head of mining operations. Great mind, very open. You'll see. Doesn't normally do this, Talk to people on space missions in person.
Oh, I feel so blessed.
You should. He saved your life, in a way.
Your family seems interesting. Got any more stories about them?
It's a big family. Brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles. Yours?
I was the only child.
Wow. Can't imagine how that feels. Anyway, no time to talk about families now, right?
Okay. I better get back to work then.
Yes. Just remember about the Rapidian, Mr. Dulski. And wait for contact from my boss.
Hey there, buddy. How do you feel? Oh, been better, that's for sure. Oh, what is this place? And shit. Who are you? Don't worry, not an illusion. There's a perfectly rational explanation to this. Just let me ask you some control questions first, okay? Sure. Fire away. Do you remember your name? Yeah. Jan. Dolsky. And what's your role on this mission? I'm a refinery operator. Oh, you look like me, but also not like me. Are we brothers or something? We're much more than that, genetically speaking. We're the same person. Genetically speaking? Whatever you're trying to tell me, stop beating around the bush, okay? All right then. You're my alter. I created you with the use of Rupidium. Rupidium? Yeah, we did it. It's here. Wow. You hear that, Ben? Ben? What Ben? Huh? Oh, never mind. Hey, wait. What was that you said about creating me? Look, you've obviously still not recovered from the shock. Why don't you rest a little and read the mission logs? They'll put it in perspective. We can talk more when the meds wear off. The meds. Yeah, that explains a lot. Not everything, but I feel like there's something more to this feeling of being so light, weak, you know? Just relax and take it slow. You'll feel stronger in no time. Okay, yeah. Maybe. And hell, I can't wait to see Rupidium. You will soon. I promise.
Hey, man. Can we talk?
Whoa. You look tired, man. Everything okay? I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with sleeping on the floor? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Of course not. You have your cozy captain's bed. All right. No need to be so dramatic about it. I'll get you a proper dorm. Sounds like a promise.
was actually on my pile of shame. Yes, I was missing that.
like I'm done. Should I go there next?
built that dormitory you asked for. Hallelujah. I hope you sleep well tonight. I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization. Sweet dreams, then. Okay, I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is vast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it. Holy shit. What now? I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve? So now I'm smart, huh? Well, actually, I do have an idea. We could build a research lab and see if we can come up with anything useful there. Okay, let's give it a go. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lava lamp? You kept it? Sure. It's one of a few cool keepsakes from our childhood. Yeah. Mom and I like to sit by it in the evening, talking and joking. It reminds me of that period when life was challenging, but also really fucking great. I'm also Jan, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home. Cheers. Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found rubidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Limited circle, huh? Bullshit. The public has a right to know about such things.
I like your passion, Jan. You're an honest man. But you're under enough pressure already. We don't need the media to go berserk or the stock market to overreact. We don't need chaos down here while all our efforts should concentrate on supporting you up there. Your task is difficult enough, and failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the rubidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rubidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
It rings a bell. Didn't he make that old game about rats or something?
You're probably talking about The Plague. Close, but it was a book. One about humans, too. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate rubidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dolsky.
Okay, you're buttering me up for something big here. Let's cut to the chase.
Hard-headed. I like that. You've probably noticed how different rubidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
How come it works then?
Not enough tests were run to explain that. The only sample ever found in space was researched inside a mobile base like your own, but it never made it back to Earth. It lasted long enough to demonstrate its amazing qualities, only to disintegrate somewhere between the Copernicus and the Hyades cluster.
So, you're afraid the rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An Ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting rupidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a rupidium Ark should be your primary focus now.
Listen, you're very convincing, but I'm afraid I just won't have the time to do it. I need to find a way forward before the sun comes up.
You're losing faith easily. Look how far you've come. You survived the landing. You found rupidium. Then you branched yourself and managed to get the base moving. Would you really be happy with yourself if it all went to waste?
Waste? Wow. Is that what you consider saving my life?
Your life, my life. Let's face it, all it is a predetermined string of events distorted with myriads of random, meaningless decisions. We spend centuries looking for some kind of sense in it, some kind of meaningful pattern or recipe. Still, no satisfactory answer comes until once in hundreds, maybe thousands of years, a chance appears to make a leap in our understanding of reality.
What can I say?
I don't know. But whatever you make of it, let me bare my soul to you. I think these are rare moments that matter. So, enough talking. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within Ally Corp, but for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Altering mind records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the alters.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
No. I'm good.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
So, had enough time to come to terms with the situation? I'm fine, thanks. There's not much that can bring me down. But I still feel much weaker than usual. Funny, earlier today I tried to lift a container and I couldn't. Maybe it's the side effects of cryosleep. Don't worry. Get back in shape in a jiffy. I don't know. I need to put on at least 15 pounds by the looks of it. Plus, no offense, lose the excess fat too. I'm not sure we have the time for that here. Operating the refinery requires stamina, you know? Being strong seems to matter a lot to you. A little extra confidence never hurt anyone. Not that it was ever my priority. I just like the physical activity. It helped clear my head of problems. Your problems are gone here. It's a chance to wipe the slate clean. Maybe, but I still can't get my head around one thing. What's that? Like, if everything that happened to me isn't true, then does that apply to the people I knew too? I mean, do they exist, but in some different version as well? It's possible, yes. Huh. So, hypothetically, someone who in my mind is, let's say, dead could actually still be alive? Hypothetically? Totally. Theoretically, everything's possible. That's overwhelming. Shit. I think I need to get my mind on something else. Why don't you have some fun? Integrate with the living. You deserve it. You think? Sure. Let me know if there's anything more you need. Hey, Molly. What are you up to, little rascal? Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. Well, what about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which could only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. That's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? You have to get our research lab running at once. We need to make some improvements fast if we want to succeed. Then I guess the sooner I start, the better. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.
this? It's triggering the alert in my suit. I need to learn more about this thing.
Getting a little cramped in our storage yacht.
Found something peculiar on the planet. What exactly was peculiar about it? Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation. Yes. We could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called interral. The what? Interral. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane. Yeah, it felt like something was materializing from out of nowhere right in front of my eyes. Let's keep our heads cool. It's just a theory. No one's ever proved it right. If, and I stress if, Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been a puncture point, the spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe. subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. We need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one. Hello, Molly. How's the grass today? So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That slow enough for you? Hey, you've just crossed out every team-building exercise on my list. The people are there for the mission, not the other way around. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. So what exactly was your research about? Nanotech in space exploration. We went from a humble startup to making headlines in a few months. Taking our solutions to the front line was my dream come true. The data we could bring back. You had big plans for it. Well, now it's all gone. Yeah, I understand how lousy that must feel. Honestly, I don't think you do. But I hope we're not going to sit around crying about it. There's work to be done, here and now. That's true. Well, let's get to it then.
Look at this thing. John gave me my old lucky multi. That's what I call a practical gift. Okay, Fred?
Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Oh, interesting. A motivational hoodie. Motivational? More like demotivational. I only kept it because it's really comfy. Of course you did. It doesn't remind you of all that determination and ambition that fueled my academic success. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate it. What's up?
Evacuation functionality.
Hey, lend me your ear. There's something I want to share.
To the safer evacuation.
Man, I'm telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you, this is the least important of our priorities. Hey there. You wanted to talk about something? Yeah. I've been thinking about the branching thing. It's so confusing. Tell me about it. I mean, remember how I told you about my body? The one I know versus this one? Well, I don't get it. Why is it exactly that we're created with different minds, like, different beverages or snacks, but then we all end up in the same packaging? It doesn't make much sense. Well, it's not the packaging that matters most. It's the content. That's what they say. But you don't brew ale only to pour it into plastic bottles. My skills, my whole personality derives from a certain lifestyle, and that makes my mind and body inseparable. That's how it feels to me. Huh. I never looked at it that way. I know, and honestly, I find it a little hard to understand. I mean, how can you be so careless about your body?
It's the only one you'll ever have, man. Why'd you let it become so neglected? I guess I just couldn't be bothered to make the effort. Funny. Now that I look at it, you probably didn't have my motivation. Which was, well, for me, it all started when I moved abroad. You know, after Mom died, I decided to stay there, and for a while it was pretty lonely out there. Didn't you have friends? Not at first, no. You can laugh, but I was a little apprehensive to jump into a new environment. It was just work and sleep, and some bad eating habits. So that's when you started working out of boredom at first. Then, kind of became a fun thing. I made friends, started going out a lot, but by that time, the gym had become an important part of my routine. I drank less, slept better, and it just made me feel in control of my life, you know? I get you. Now that you told me the whole story. Thanks. You know, maybe if I could get back to my routine here, at least in some way, it could really help me shake off all this anxiety. I'd probably sleep better, feel more like me. Do you think there's a chance you could help me get my hands on some exercise equipment here? I could try. Really? Thanks, bro. I knew I could confide in you. So, did you find a solution to our problem?
Yes, it's super simple. We'll build a bridge.
Oh, just like that?
Well, it can't be a regular bridge, of course. We don't have the time nor the manpower to accomplish that. However, there is a certain technology that came to my mind, superconductive bridge anchors. They could allow us to quickly span a light but durable construction across our obstacle. Wow, great. Sounds exciting. Yes, but...
Oh, here we go.
Cut out the sarcasm. It's not my fault this excursion was prepared by a dilettante. Blueprints for the anchors should be standard equipage for every mission since Project Versant went live, but not on this one. They should fire the logistician, if there ever was one. Versant? Versatile Synthetics Program. One of my undergraduate students went to work for them. Had some impressive achievements, including designing bridge anchors for heavy exploration equipment. You'd think it would be obvious, but no. Stop moaning, will you? Just tell me what to do. You're right. Let's act. You are in touch with mining operations, right? Yeah, I am. Why? Next time you talk to someone from mining ops, tell them to send over the anchor blueprints from Versant. Once we have them, things will go back to super simple. You'll see. All right, will do. Hi there.
Hi there. I have something for you. The exercise equipment you asked for. Awesome, man! I knew I could rely on you. Can't wait to try these babies out. Not getting any connection from mining ops. Any idea how I can ask them for those blueprints? Didn't they push you to mine rupidium? Report getting the job done, and someone will turn up. Trust me, I know how this company works. Okay, thanks.